Howdy all, hope you're doing well. So I've had to take one of my videos down recently. It was the one about the society. Let me just have a quick ganders. What did I call it? The bigger picture of society, that video. At the time of making the video, there was not a police investigation into Mr. Brand, and now there is. So for me, for at least my thoughts on the matter, even though I don't consider myself to be taking sides either way, you know, if someone is guilty and they are found to be guilty, then that is, you know, obviously what needs to be dealt with. But if they're innocent, this is the point of the video, but if they're innocent and another person was not being honest in a court of law, that they should be held accountable for that. They need to be held accountable for that. That's what I will say on the matter. But I wasn't swayed either way, because I don't know the guy. I don't know anything about it. All I do is guess, you know what I mean? So, just to keep myself in the clear, taking the video down is what it is. I was just, you know, I just done another video. I do these several times before I actually upload one that I'm happy with. And even then I'm never too impressed, but it's not my own vanity, it's just me. Like, is what it is. Anyway, so to make this a bit more worth your time, rather than a couple of minutes me just saying, well, I've taken the video down for to avoid being in a situation where I'm in contempt of court, right? You could say that, well, maybe freedom of speech is being a thing. It's like, well, these are now potentially legal proceedings and you really shouldn't be talking about it, and unless it just doesn't come recommended, fuck it. You know what I mean? So, and unless you actually know something, right, and even then talking about it out in the open is not the way forward. If anything, it would be to contact the police. You'd think, right? Oh, I'm just saying. Moving on. So this video, one thing that's just cropped up in my own YouTube feed here is a post from the Daily Mail, no less. A mother who starved her baby, to death after her, air quotes, controlling boyfriend demanded that their newborn should live on sunlight instead of food. Now, I don't even know if I want to follow the article, but I'm gonna just, it's not something I've done this a long time ago, right? Let's do it. So this is written by Will Stewart and Arthur Parashar on the 27th of September 2023. Mother who starved her baby to death after controlling boyfriend demanded he be fed on sunlight is convicted of neglect as partner faces torture trial. And rightly fucking so. I mean, it blows my fucking mind, honestly. Like, I legit don't know what to do with it. Like, what is wrong with people? Anyway, it reads, a mother who starved her baby to death after her controlling boyfriend demanded that their newborn should live on sunlight instead of food has been convicted of neglect. Neglect. Yeah. Not enabling behaviour. Not part of the fucking cause. No, neglect. Meanwhile, I'll say it again, rightly so, the other fucker's on a torture trial. Good. So he fucking should be. Oksana Mironova, 33, had allegedly followed the views of her raw food blogging partner, Maxim Liuti, 43. He faces a separate trial accused of torturing his newborn baby. I mean, what the fuck? The child, Cosmos, died from pneumonia and emaciation after the couple failed to properly feed him, a court was told. Mironova admitted her guilt and repented over the death of her son, who was less than 1 month old, said a court spokesperson in Armavir, Russia. She was sentenced to 2 years correctional labour after being convicted of neglecting the child and failing in her maternal duties, leading to Cosmos starving to death. Failed in her maternal duties. That's a bit more than failing at maternal duties. I think it's a bit more. It's a bit deeper than that, you know. It's not like she accidentally forgot to feed the cat one day, and that's. I mean, that's the worst thing I could sort of think of, right? Like you got a pet, you love it, like well, your dog or whatever, right? You're just not gonna fucking do it. And if you're doing it on purpose, then you know you're being some sort of cunt. Right? But no. She failed in her maternal duties, leading to Cosmos starving to death. Just what the fuck? And just photos of these two. Lifestyle trainer Maxim Liutuni, 43, wanted to raise the newborn on prana eating, a diet which people go without food and water for a long time and feed on the sun. It was alleged. Okay, let's just fucking, just for stupid people that need to hear this, maybe like this fucking idiot, right? Now, what are babies known for doing? Eating, shitting, sleeping, and throwing up over your shoulder, and then pulling your hair or your beard, right? Right? They are eating and shitting machines, and they carry on to do so. Hence the expression, in the case of a young lad, is a strapping, growing young lad. Yeah. I mean, is it not obvious? But this guy thinks, oh yeah, if you just starve a newborn that's a month old, and the other fucker neglected her maternal duties. Neglected, mate. Maternal duties, that she just does not have a compass for that. Clearly. He is accused of barring Mironova from breastfeeding the child. He wanted to experiment on the child, feeding purely with the son, and then advertise it to others that this is how you can eat. See, this is why crazy people shouldn't reproduce. I'm just saying. I'm just crazy. You meet someone that's crazy, just stay away. Fuck it. Don't even. Just like, you just know that they're eating, sleeping, shitting machines. Like, what the fuck makes you think they're going to survive on sunlight? What do you think? You leave it out in the rain, it's going to grow tall? Like, really? Is it like who? Where were these people's parents? Like, who the fuck were their parents? Like, who educated these two? Like, what the fuck? Oof. So, anyway, said Oksana's mother, Galina, who accuses him of running a sect, a cult leader. Yeah, he's probably trying. I was against my daughter being in this sect. I felt everything and told her that Maxim was crazy, but she didn't listen to me. Well, obviously she likes the bad D, the controlling D, the actual bad boys. Yeah, imagine that one. Yeah. Any kids? Well, I had one, but I failed in my maternal duties. What happened? Then that shit comes out. Nah, fucking ain't even checked, please. Fuck it, I'm running. Fuck that noise. Oksana lived there like a guinea pig. Each time she became colder to me. She was his slave. Shop Media has reported that in his pre-trial detention centre he eats meat, a favourite dish being pasta with stew. A video shows him in court earlier this year, detained under suspicion of child torture. My fucking day. I don't even want to carry on reading this, but I will. Fuck it. Liu Qi is known as a radical raw food fanatic. I'm sure they've got a few other words for him now. He is the author of Methods of Cleansing the Body. He's one of these, yeah. He's one of them, probably. He and his partner founded a club called The Living Man, intended to help Russians improve their health and sort out personal problems. Yeah, by fucking starving yourselves to death. Oh. Fucking hell. I shouldn't laugh. People follow that shit. This is exactly fucking same as the fucking tater tots, man. I'm telling you. He is described as a master of working with the body and consciousness, and offered healing to his clients. Oh, here we fucking go. Oh my god, Messiah complex or what? Fucking hell. Another relative of Mironova said, Oksana told me that she was afraid of him. She wanted to leave him many times, but he held her back. He wanted to raise his son into a man who only eats the sun. Now sit there and tell me that with a straight face and then try and convince me that I don't think you're crazy. I'll tell you what, it wouldn't happen. Oksana's cousin, Olesa, what is all of this? This is like, considering everything that I say about media, this is like watching an episode of, I don't know, like Neighbours, EastEnders. What have you got in America? What have you got out there? Dallas? That's actually the first thing that came to mind. It's like watching it's like reading a soap opera. To the point where I almost don't want it to be a real thing. Like, this is like dark humour. This is where situations like this is exactly why dark humour is a thing, because a lot of the time you don't want to really face the reality of something. I mean, to digress back, a 1-month-old baby was literally starved to death by this couple. Literally. So the cousin said he forced her to not feed the baby. Her boyfriend believed that the son was feeding the baby. Right, I'll talk about, for those guys that watch, you're still into dating and you're still on, still on the lookout for potentials, right? Oh. If they come up with any bullshit like that, like, oh yeah, you can survive off just sunlight alone, right? Just red flag. That is the red flag. You don't need any more. You end of conversation. Like, turn around, GTFO sharpish. If you're on 4 wheels, right, you make 11Zs all the way up the road. And if you're on 2 wheels, well, you'll be on 1 wheel, leaving a 1Z all the way down the road. Away the fuck from. Oksana was secretly trying to breastfeed the baby, but she was very afraid of Maxim. How is it possible to feed the baby with sunlight? A baby needs his mother's milk. They eventually decided to take the emaciated child to the doctors, but it was too late and the baby died on the way. Everything that's wrong with society, man. Everything that's wrong with this society. They should both be having the same trial here, these two. They should be tried for the same thing. They should get the same punishment. Why? And look, maybe it's legit, right? I'm trying to keep an open mind on this, right? Maybe she was in a situation where she was scared to leave. Maybe. the issue that I have is, unfortunately, I have never met a chick that, if they weren't happy with their relationship for whatever reason, that they stayed. I've never met a chick that stayed. I'm just saying. I hear stories of women that have stayed in bad relationships for a long time through fear of leaving. And you could argue for the whole how some men manipulate the scenario. They tell them how they're ugly, or they won't get anyone else as good as them, and this, that and the other. So I suppose, like most things, if you tell that someone to enough, eventually they might start believing it, right? This is what I'm saying. It's hard. I don't think I've ever met anyone that's been in one of those relationships whilst they have been in one of those relationships. Mostly because, let me tell you, for starters, I would not allow that to happen if it was a friend of mine. I would be telling them exactly what the fuck they need to be doing. I'm just saying. Like, I've known enough women being in relationships where there's a lot of lies and bullshit and psychological manipulation and all of this, and emotional blackmail and blatant theft, borrowing money off of their partners, claiming poverty when in reality they just wanted to go out and party with their money, or they didn't have any money, they wanted to get money, and so they asked their partner for money, and because their partner was kind of willing and able, they went ahead and lent them the money under the false pretense that they were actually hard up and needed to buy this, that and the third, blissfully unaware that the partner that was borrowing the money was actually going out partying, right? So that side of it I know is a thing, but like I say, and it's because I'm not trying to do anyone out of any out of any justice where it should be a thing, right? And I try and think, I sit here quietly and I'm thinking of the possibilities. It's like, well, not that it would have been much better, but what if, in this case, the girl maybe, not that it would end well, obviously, but either made an attempt to leave. It's, I don't know. The thing is, I don't know enough about. I don't know the people, for starters, but let's face it. If they think you can feed a baby that's 1 month old off of sunlight, that they're not parent material, right? I'm just saying. And if they're allowing it to happen, well, they're enabling it, which means that they're agreeing with that behaviour. And in this case, a month-old baby lost its life as a result of two fully fucking grown adults, clearly incompetent. But no, we'll go for a torture trial for one, and a bit of rehabilitation because you neglected your maternal duties. It ain't the fucking word. Ain't the words. Anyway, I'm wrapping this one up. 20 minutes. Was going to be a short video. Turns out it's not. But yeah, this is it. Anyway, thoughts, comments and opinions. Feel free to jump down to the next one. Stay cool, stay free. Peace out.